also suffered for us, leaving us an example that we should follow his steps, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. Who did no sin. Hebrews 9:14. Hebrews 9:14. Right. How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? Now, let's look at this to see, because this is talking about the sacrifice. We'll go back to verse 11. But Christ, being come an high priest of good things to come by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building, neither by the blood of goats and calves, right, it's talking about the Old Testament, Day of Atonement, but by his own blood he entered in once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us. For if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of heifer, sprinkling the unclean, sanctifieth to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God? He's saying he was a spotless, sinless, perfect sacrifice. How much more shall it purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? And so we see that he offered himself without spot. He was a sacrifice without spot or blemish. 1 Peter 1:19. 1 Peter 1:19. Right, verse 18. For as much as ye know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers, but get this, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. Right, the perfect sacrifice, he qualified in every way. And then, if we look at Luke 23, and John 18 and John 19, we'll see Christ at his trial before Pilate. And Pilate gives this testimony. We better just have a look at it. We'll look at it in Luke 23. Oh, no, we'll look at John. Look at it in John, where you'll know what I'm talking about once we look at it. John 19. John 19. John 18:38. First of all, Pilate said unto him, unto Jesus, what is truth? And when he had said this, he went out again unto the Jews and said unto them, I find no fault in him at all. I find no fault in him at all. 19:4 says, and Pilate therefore went forth again and said unto them, behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. Right, this is Pilate. And when the chief priest, this is verse 6, therefore an officer saw him, they cried out, saying, crucify him, crucify him. Pilate saith unto them, take ye him and crucify him, for I find no fault in him. Pilate was there looking to find something to make it possible for it to be legal for him to crucify Jesus, but he had to say, I find no fault in him. Right. John 8:46. John 8:46. Right. Jesus says to the Jews who were trying to find fault with him, he said, "Which of you convinceth me of sin?" He challenged them and said, "Which of you convinceth me of sin?" Now, did they rush forward and say, "I do, I do"? No, they wanted to, desperately, but they could find nothing, no point whatever where they could convince him of sin. They had to say, no, he was the perfect, sinless Son of God. And so the gold of the mercy seat was pure, and it speaks of purity. So was Christ perfect, holy, sinless, spotless? Yes, he was indeed. Number 3, the mercy seat is propitiation, but we'll leave it there for now, and we'll come back to this idea that the mercy seat is propitiation, because the Bible says specific talking about this, but we're running out of time just for this part, so we'll come back to it. This is a very long lesson, and we'll come back to number 3 next time.